Dhaka city is an over-expanding megacity, but the inhabitants of the city are suffering due to this unplanned expansion. Traffic has become the worst aspect of living in Dhaka city, with 18.10 lakh registered vehicles in Dhaka alone and a population of 22.5 million. This is not surprising. According to the Accident Research Institute BUET in 2018, Dhaka traffic wasted 5 million work hours and cost the economy Dhaka 27,000 crore. This number has significantly grown in the last 4 years. According to research from BIDS and PRI, approximately 6 to 10% of the country's GDP is indirectly lost to traffic consumption. People from all over Bangladesh migrate to Dhaka in increasing numbers every year. According to the World Bank, approximately 4 lakhs to 5 lakhs people move to Dhaka every year. People have always moved to the capital seeking a better life for themselves or their children due to its higher economic opportunities. Bangladesh is also one of the worst victims of climate migration, hence the pressure of these migrants is felt the most in the main cities. Alleviating traffic congestion is one of the major development challenges of our time. Half the world's population already lives in cities, and the United Nations estimates that the proportion will rise to nearly 70% by 2050. Dhaka, the world's decent and fastest growing city, is a case study in how this problem got so bad and why it's so difficult to solve. Dhaka's infrastructure does not match the scale of population, just 7% of the city covered by roads, compared with around 25% of Paris and Vienna. Dhaka also suffers from the absence of a planned road network. There are 650 major intersections, but only 60 traffic lights, many of which do not work. That means the police force is not enforcing driving or parking rules. They are in the intersections directing traffic. The cost of Dhaka's traffic congestion is estimated at $3.8 billion a year, and that's just the delays and air pollution, not the less tangible losses in quality of life. Paradoxically, the poor infrastructure is one of the reasons why the city is growing so fast. Without roads or trains to whisk them to the suburbs, Dhaka residents have no choice but to crowd into the middle, set up slums between high-rises, and walk to work. Then there are the users of the roads beside pedestrians. The narrow lanes are shared by bicycles, rickshaws, scooters, motorcycles, CNGs, buses, and cars. All these modes take up a different amount of space and have different top speeds. Most people you talk to in Bangladesh blame traffic jams on the rickshaws. There are too many of them, they say, and they drive so slowly that they trap the cars, buses, and CNGs behind them. The government is under pressure to designate some lanes as car only to build wider roads and overpasses to take the slow traffic out from in front of the fast. And this brings us to the third person, why the traffic problem is so difficult to solve. All of these fixes sound easy and obvious, but they come at cost. 1.5 million people drive rickshaws for a living, plus another few 100,000 own and repair them. Government efforts to get people out of rickshaws and into buses and trains are going to attract huge opposition. Even increasing bus capacity is more complicated than it sounds. A 2009 World Bank analysis found 60 separate bus companies in Dhaka. Since the bus companies compete with one another, the drivers have every incentive to drive aggressively and take more passengers than the bus can hold. What's more, the public transport is not all that public. Many of the companies are owned or linked to political parties or powerful trade unions. Government efforts to unify to regularize the system would amount to a hostile takeover of all of these small companies. The obvious solution is to separate the rickshaws from the cars from the CNGs, give each of them lanes and lights according to their top speed, and crucially make car drivers pay the cost of taking up more space on the roads. But that, politically speaking, is unrealistic. Car owners are a small part of the population, but they are the most influential. Every year, Dhaka adds extra 37,000 cars to its already overcrowded roads. Think about all this from a Bangladeshi politician's point of view. Any attempt to solve the traffic mess means annoying the poor, the middle class, and the rich all at once.